right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Happy Halloween. That's right. Just give me a second here. I guess I could set this up after. We should probably do a little Halloween intro. Got to get some jam and tunes going. All right. Let's see. Is there... I probably don't have one, so let's just... Hey, how's it going? Hey, oh, it's me, Mike Ross. Look at me. I'm Mike Ross. All right, hold on. We're going to have to give you a better picture. I'm dressed up as Mike Ross. Look, it's me, Mike Ross. Mike Ross, unfortunately, is still in Guadalajara, Mexico, locked up. But I decided to dress up as him. So I went to my local Spirit Halloween and I found their Mike Ross costume. It was labeled wrong. It was labeled as Bob Ross. But I told the guy, you might want to fix that. As you can see, it's not as good. This is kind of like knockoff. Like, look at the wig's not anything accurate. You know what I mean? But it's good enough. So, hey, look at me. I'm Mike Ross. No Mike Ross emoji? Damn it, I completely forgot about the emotes on YouTube. What's going on, Rev? Happy Halloween. How you doing? I was excited to play some D&D after bunker fishing. But then these bozos had things to do. Unbelievable. Yeah, I did glue it on. You're right. Look, it's stuck in the goddamn mic stand, too. We got to fix that. Mike Ross. See, this is how you know it's not actually Mike Ross, is because Mike Ross's hair is just like perfection. You know what I mean? But that being said, happy Halloween, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Jerry, cut the goddamn music already, would you? I can't hear a goddamn thing. Jerry's back. That's right. I got some bunker money, so I'm finally able to afford Jerry as my empanada guy again. I had to fire him. I had to let him go. You know what I mean? Fly time money wasn't cutting it. But finally we got a little extra in the budget. All right. So, what are we doing today? Well, I don't really know. You can see here I've been tying a bunch of EP style flies for Mr. Captain Dixon. Going down doing some peacock bass flies, so I'm just getting the tails ready on these EP flies. We got size 2 odds, which you can, maybe it'll focus, boop, and you can see the about $8 million in Gamakatsu hooks as well. God damn, they're expensive. Empanadas, that's right, not empanadas. By the way, how you doing, Doc? Craggerall, I'm glad to hear India's treating you pretty good. It's a little humid, I heard, but you're getting more fly tying done than Africa. So that's something, right? I believe so, if I'm not wrong, because you forgot to bring a good amount of material there. Also, Rev, what's going on? How's everybody doing on YouTube? So today, by the way, we're streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow we got the Friday Flight giveaway. Tomorrow I'm off. So, we're going to stream tomorrow night and do the Friday Fly giveaway. We missed last week because I was bunker fishing. I had to cover. But, which, by the way, Rev is here. I'm going to have to text my Savage World chat, but I may need to work Sunday, so we may need to play late. And I'll be delirious, so it's going to be wild. I might kill the whole party, my whole Savage Worlds group, you know what I mean? After a whole day bunker fishing. But, yeah, that being said, I'm tying these peacock bass flies. Now, I need to look this up. I'm going to look it up on my computer so I can show you guys. But it's essentially a video of somebody, I don't know if they're down in Florida or they're down in the Amazon, and they throw a lizard fly at a tree branch. It falls off the tree branch, and a giant peacock bass eats it. And we're tying peacock bass flies essentially for this trip. I don't know if this is the same area or what, but this captain sent this to me. So I figured let's tie an articulated lizard fly. In the past on Halloween, we've either done two things. We've either done essentially I've like spooky flies. What are you gonna tie? Like we've tied a pumpkin, right? We've tied like a bat, right? You know what I mean? So what we do is generally tie like really lifelike, interesting, wacky flies, right? The other thing is I take months out of my time to write a musical number and then record it, go to a recording studio, aka my buddy's place, which pretty much is a recording studio, and then film an entire music video as multiple personas, yada, yada, yada. But this time we're just doing some fly tying because I had to work. But that being said, we are going to be playing the famous, infamous, some may say. I looked it up. It's labeled 2021. So it was that year, the crazy year, but the year of our Halloween special. So we're going to play that music video again because it's almost like a Halloween tradition. We have to play it because it's so bad it's good. You know what I mean? But that being said, we are going to be tying some lizard flies. So let me try and pull up this video for you guys. It's on Instagram. Maybe I can just look up the Katka Savagorva is the name of the account. So let me look it up on Instagram. Hopefully my PC doesn't crash. This PC I've been having some issues with. By the way, if anyone knows, like, so it's my C drive. My C drive's crashing and Windows and everything is on the C drive. So I have another SSD drive, a Samsung Evo or whatever. Can I just put Windows on that D drive and move all my stuff over? It's essentially in the D drive space, but it's a new SSD drive. Can I move everything over and then just get rid of the C drive? Because my PC's crashing all the time. I gotta look it up. I haven't just had the time to do it. Man, I have to like sign in to Instagram. I can't even just look. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let me just type in the username. We'll see. We'll get around Instagram's tricks because I don't feel like signing in. Gorva. Haha, screw you, Instagram, and your tricks. Oh, here it is. Oh, dude, what? We gotta log in to watch it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. By the way, if you have Instagram, go watch it. I don't know this person's account. They look like they do a bunch of awesome fly fishing. A borderline Sims model, right? Jeff would have a great time hanging out with this person. They could take tons of fishing photos. That being said, catches. Look at that peacock bass. Unbelievable. But this video right here, there's a lizard fly. So it looks like the legs are made out of foam. There's foam back. There's like ridges. There's like a foam head as well. Like a popper head. Her name, I believe, Katka Savgorova. See, I'm terrible with Eastern European names, but that video right there. So if you want to go watch it, imagine giant lizard fly hitting a tree branch, falls over, giant peacock bass eats it, right? So that's kind of what we're going for. Should we go with like foam legs? Like, I don't know. I'm thinking here. I don't know. But we're essentially just going to spend the stream. We're going to tie big lizard flies. So that's what we're doing. Okay. Also, now I'm intrigued. Lizard fly. If I type in lizard fly pattern, because it's just showing me flying lizards. Okay. Who's got the good lizard flies? That's a nice frog, by the way. Look at that. That's a lot of deer hair, by the way. We ain't doing that. Okay, there's a lip on there. There's a fancy tail. It's almost like a pike fly. So I'm seeing a lot of articulated things. I'm seeing foam, right? We could clearly do articulated legs. We could do a foam head, foam pieces on the body. It seems to be popular. These are like multiple popper bodies, it looks like, in conjunction with articulated sections, which I don't have that variety of popper bodies to go with. But, okay. So I have a general idea, right? I don't know if what materials we're essentially going to be using, but we have an idea what we're going to be doing. So what's a lizard that peacock bass eat, though? What if I type in lizard peacock bass? Is that like an actual... Is it going to show me anything lizard related? Oh, look, there's a dude holding a lizard. This is actually pretty cool. This is research. There's a dude holding a peacock bass while also holding an iguana. So I gotta say, Google provided with the lizard peacock bass right there. Shout out. That's a YouTube thumbnail if I've ever seen it. But that was funny. All right, we're tying a lizard fly. That's all you need to know. Okay? And I'm dressed up as Mike Ross. So cheers. I'm going to put on some awesome music for myself, but... All right. Let's get this lizard fly started, shall we? How about a fly made entirely of candy? All right. You know what, Rev? Now you remind me. Remember there was... Oh, dude, we've had so many people watch. And an anole. Yeah, I'm thinking like an anole. But some of these flies are pretty big. Because I've had an anole lizard, right? I've had a couple of anole lizards and over the years when I was a kid. And they don't necessarily get too large. I mean, I guess in reality, we're talking almost 6-7 inches, right? With the tail probably. Like an adult size one. But Rev, you know what? I'm thinking just over the years, like... Oh God, what was his name? We've had so many different people that have watched on Twitch, and people would be like, "How about you tie a fly, but while you're blindfolded and only using your feet?" I'm like, "What?" Like, yep, I forgot his name though. He would always be saying crazy stuff like that. He's like, "How about you tie a fly, but make it look like an elephant?" Okay. Yeah. How about a chair? Let's do a chair popper. Yeah, good kid. The E in anole is not silent. It's an anole. Don't tell me. No, it's called an anole lizard. It's not called an anole. Get out of here. Jin, I'm going to revoke your moderation privileges if you try and drop that bombshell on me, all right? You're talking to a wannabe herpetologist turned fly tyer, professional fly tyer, in fact. So, I don't know what's worse, a wannabe herpetologist or a professional fly tyer, but you could decide. There's no way that it's anole. Cannoli lizard, yeah. Yeah, come on. Might as well call it the cannoli lizard. All right, let's start tying this fly. Unbelievable. I literally had anole lizards, see? You almost got me. What are we doing? I really don't have any idea. I'm delusional, all right? A lot of bunker. A lot of bunker. I did see, though, that I have a 4-rod Bob Clouser hook. Are we going to risk it? Are we going to risk it? We give this to the most prominent fly fishing captain in all of Long Island for the hook to bend. The problem is I don't have any big Gamakatsus for a fly this size. I'm thinking we go grande. Okay? We're throwing anole lizards for peacock bass. Come on. What do you think? We're tying 1 odds? Get out of here. Unbelievable. Well, it's a little tight, that camera, huh? All right. This is a big... I'm pretty certain this is the correct pack that this was in. This is the A. So we've had issues with the 2 odds. This 4-odd is definitely a little bit sturdier than the 2-odd Bob Clousers, which you guys think I was joking? You remember the one that we bent that day? I stuck it up there, so I'll never forget. All right? Check this sucker out right here. All right, 45 minutes to an hour. What do you call this? Oh God, I can Tabery slab fly or whatever, and the hook bent. This is a 4-rod though. Okay, it's a little bit more. It's a little chunkier. By the way, Arex is probably I'm probably on a hit list, to be honest with you, because I did make an Instagram post about another hook. I bent like 5 of them, so I lost my mind. You know what I mean, for a little bit. Nothing bad, but I'm like, yo, has anyone been bending these? And guess what? I had a bunch of people tell me they bent them. So that being said, we're gonna tie with one. You know what I mean? Wait, I didn't see. It was. I saw somebody post something, Ian Devlin, but it wasn't like. It wasn't direct. Are you telling me that Bob Popovics passed away, unfortunately? Because I saw like Ian Devlin, who's another captain, who's good friends with him, like posting stuff, but like it wasn't anything like, you know. I thought that he was still in like the hospital or something. Oh man, that's terrible. He was such an awesome guy. I've met him multiple times, but just very briefly. But one time I did like kind of. Oh, he's been in hospice. Oh, okay. Oh man. Well, rest in peace, Bob Popovics, one of the all-time flying greats. Up there, if not, I'm gonna say it. Lefty Cray is amazing, but when it came to fly tying, like Lefty Cray is like one of the all-time greats when it comes to like fishing, casting, right? But Bob Popovics, peak saltwater fly tying. I mean, we're talking surf candies, jiggies, bucktail deceivers, hollow flies, pop lips, right? Beast flies, just pretty much everything. Like all the all-time greats for striper fishing were pretty much all created by Bob Popovics. So, yeah. Well, like as you said, sending prayers to his family and stuff. But look, Carrie's legend on with the flies. He was a unbelievable person. I did get to meet him like a couple times here and there, but like one time I was working at the Saltwater Edge booth at the Somerset, New Jersey show, and I like stopped by because I was like I went and saw Squimpish flies. I was handing out Squimpish flies, and I went and saw some different people, and then I saw him and I had to stop, and somebody was like, "Oh, beast flies," and they're like showing him his beast fly, and he's taking the time to like, talk about beast flies, this and that, and I just popped in. I was like, "Hey, Mr. Popovics, I just wanted to say, your fly tying and your books, particularly Pop Flies in particular, was a huge inspiration, and like, now I'm essentially just my whole entire life is pretty much fly tying." I wasn't like, oh, I fly tie this and that, but I'm like, oh, I do like a lot of commercial stuff, but I was like, literally, your fly tying, it completely changed the way that I like essentially approached saltwater fly tying for striped bass in particular, and he was like, oh, thank you so much, this and that. And we had a nice little conversation, but I didn't want to bother him too much because it's literally like everybody's trying to talk to Bob Popovics at the Somerset, New Jersey fly fishing show. But so I was lucky enough to have that little moment, you know what I mean? So he was just, an unbelievable person. But his fly tying, man, he's like the Jimi Hendrix of saltwater fly tying. Like, think about it. You're taking the material, tying it backwards, folding it, and then applying the pressure in front, not tying on top. That's like playing the guitar behind your head and then lighting it on fire. You know what I mean? Whew. All right, well, rest in peace, Bob Popovics. Like I said, Just keep on spreading the good word of Popovic's out there and his fly tying. That sucks though. I mean, I thought he was still. Yeah, I didn't know. Anyways, all right. Now that we've completely, you've ruined the Halloween stream, Doc. Unbelievable. Where's my sound effects? Unbelievable. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. All right, cut it, Jerry, cut it. Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. Thank you for letting me know, Doc, because I actually did not know, and I was, I'm surprised I hadn't seen. Essentially, people were like, "Oh man," they were like posting some older stuff, which I guess makes sense. But I know he had been, not doing too good. So, but thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. That's very unfortunate. But all right, we're gonna tie a lizard fly. You guys can all blame Doc for that very heartfelt message. All right. No, I'm joking. All right. Well, let's tie a lizard fly, shall we? And let's incorporate some Bob Popovic's. I think, which we should. Any luck on the North Shore? Hey, Craig, how's it going? I have not fished the North Shore at all. I've been completely on the. In fact, so 0 albies this year. I'm talking 0, and I fished. All right, this is. Last year, I barely fished because I was like commercial clamming and bunker fishing the entire time. This year, I've probably fished more than I have in the past couple of years. And I've just pretty much just been almost entirely fishing the beaches. Because the bay fishing, almost 0 fish. It wasn't just till a week ago I started catching fish under 20-something inches. I hadn't caught a fish since May in the bay. But the ocean has been crazy. There's been 40, 50-pounders on bunker during the summer. I didn't get any of that. That's on bait. But there's been, slot-sized fish in the surf eating sand eels pretty much all day. So the ocean's where it's at. And on the South Shore is where I've been fishing. That's where I'm from. You know what I mean? It's a trip to go up to the North Shore. So from what I've heard, it's all up in the all up like deep in the Sound. Crazy bonito. There was some crazy albie stuff going on. But it was like deep out in the Sound, and you had to go out in a boat, and it was just like a million boats out there. So no North Shore yet this year. Maybe I will, but currently I'm fly tying like 4 days a week, and then like bunker fishing like 3 days a week. So it was terrible. I don't know what it is. Apparently, you know what it is? I fish a lot of back bays, so a lot of times the fish are under slot size, right? We're catch and release fishing 18, 23, 24, 25, upwards to 27 inch, maybe sometimes a keeper fish deep in the back bays, right? I do a lot of fly fishing in the back bays. Apparently, it's been 5 years straight that striper spawning has been terrible. So if you think about it, striped bass, I think, take anywhere from like, what is it? Was it like 7 years to reach sexual maturity or something for spawning? If I'm not wrong, I forgot what the exact stats are. Maybe it's 5 years or something like that for females. I forgot what it is for striped bass. But if you go back 5 years, that first terrible spawning down in the Chesapeake for millions of reasons, could be why I'm not seeing personally. I usually catch a bunch of small striped bass upwards to just around slot size. I'm not seeing any. It wasn't until just about a week ago. And usually in the back bays, they're everywhere. You're catching anywhere from like almost juvenile, like almost baby striped bass, upwards to like, keeper size. So it could just be that we're seeing the effects of these terrible spawns. And it's going back 5 years now. These are a lot of the smaller fish that would be getting to this size now that you'd be catching in the back bays, right? So, it's one of the reasons why recently, and I like signed the email or something from the Saltwater Guide Association for the striped bass conservation efforts. They recently were trying to, and there's efforts from other interests and to try and reduce quote or try and increase quota numbers and this and that for commercial or whatever, or recreational and this and that. So they are the opposite end. They're fighting for responsible conservation of striped bass, so that way we have fish for commercial and recreational fisheries, for guides, captains, for the Joe Schmo with the bucket, everybody, and to the gill netters, right? But not only that, you got to deal with the regulation stuff, but you also have super high mortality rates from catch and release fishing, which I'm glad, like the what do you call it? I forget the name of the one. Oh, On the Water magazine is the one publication, and then like the Fisherman magazine, which is like the main fishing magazine for the Northeast for the past like however many years, are posting it. The high catch and release mortality rates of recreational fishing compared to commercial harvest rates. And again, we still haven't figured out how they've gotten these numbers. We had an entire stream where we went over this when it comes to because there's a chart. It shows that catch and release mortality from recreational fishing is higher than, almost combined, than the commercial harvest and the recreational harvest of striped bass. You know what I mean? So, what do you call it? It's not looking good. You know what I mean? But fishing and fish are very cyclical. But that being said, hopefully the current regulations that have just put in place recently and this and that help. But then you also need to deal with the spawning habitat of the Hudson River, which is terrible. The Chesapeake Bay, which not only has just gill netting out the wazoo and yada, yada, yada. You have the Omega Corporation killing millions of pounds of bunker in a day. Something that we can't even kill 1 million pounds of bunker in a year sometimes. You know what I mean? Fishing all year. So they can do this stuff in a day. So there's so many different variables. There's like chicken farms, with causing algae blooms. It's just, that's why up north, up in New Brunswick, I think it is, up in Canada, there's like a new striped bass population that's up there, and it's flourishing. I think also due to the colder waters as well. But there's like perfect river habitat for them to go and spawn up there. So Canada has a huge growing population of striped bass. It's like starting to be a world-class striped bass fishery up on the east coast of Canada. So it's pretty crazy to see how things, hopefully we can get it together, because like literally my livelihood relies on not only the striped bass, the bonito, the false albacore, the bluefish fishery out here, but then the bait fish, the silver side, the bunker, the shell fishing. I'm like literally involved in all of it. So it's very important to stay, up to date on these things and try and, do whatever you can, which sometimes doesn't feel like a lot. But anyways, rant over. We're done ranting. Bujika coming in with the 52 months on Twitch. Sheesh. It's crazy. Thank you so much, my friend. Came out duck hunting after work. Hell yeah. Are you out in the blind right now? You dog, you? I went duck hunting with a friend once. He brought a stove and he made French toast and eggs. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? We're duck hunted, bro. He literally brought a stove. He's cooking French toast. I'm like, you're going to scare the ducks with like flipping the French toast. You know what I mean? But, to be fair, we ate the French toast, but. You are. All right. Very good. All right. Turn the stream down. Okay. Just watch. Actually, leave it on one volume so that way Twitch counts you as a viewer. I forgot you can't mute the browser. Left the stove at home. Okay, good. I was happy about that we had French toast. It's funny, I've been out fishing maybe a dozen or so times out in the salt. Haven't caught a thing. Probably just suck. Yeah, that's my fault. That's my issue. I just suck. I know my flies work because I sell flies to guides and shops and people, and they send me photos. Hey, look at the 40-pounder I caught, You know what I mean? And I'm out here, I'm struggling to get one schoolie in like a week. You know what I mean? But hey, that's how it is. I'm just blessed, as Mike Ross would say, you know? Is Mike Ross back from... I'm dressed up as Mike Ross. I'm sorry. Mike Ross is still locked up in a cell in Guadalajara, Mexico for smuggling emu eggs with little Peacock. My cousin who will be banished to the Shadow Realm. Printed out for the weekend hunts. On the headphones. Okay, gotcha. Nice. You're a professional. If you had a grill, you probably have one that closes too. So when you pop open the blind, you don't get all the vegetation from the blind landing on the French toast. Yeah, well, that's definitely, you got to work the tides. No, we caught some fish. We had an amazing worm hatch. We had some great blue fishing. We did a little bit of fishing in the ocean, and now we're starting to catch some fish out in the surf. But it's been tough this year. Usually I can pull at least one fish out every trip, you know, out of the back bays or out of some rip somewhere or something. This year, I mean, I really struggled, and I just don't think I don't think there's a lot of striped bass that came into the bay. I think all of them, generally larger fish, out in the ocean, eating bunker, eating sand eels and all that.
Blessings and prayers for Bob Popovics and his family, a true legend and innovator in the saltwater fly fishing world. Thank you, Bob, and Godspode. Folded hands.
Folded hands. That's right. Give it up for not only Jin, but also give it up for Bob Popovics. Everybody, put your hearts and prayers out there for Bob Popovics' family. But just also, you know, remember let's all think of our favorite moment. Put your favorite either moment or fly or tying method or whatever Bob Popovics did to influence your fly tying, fly fishing. I don't want to say career because you guys are on my level. You know what I mean? Mike Ross. But see, if I just say Mike Ross, then, you know, you can put the blame on him. But your fly fishing legacy is what I'm going to say. Put your favorite, like, what? I'll start off with mine. How about that? So you guys, make you guys comfortable. Let's see. Favorite thing, Bob Popovics? I mean, I haven't had many interactions or anything. My favorite thing, pop lips. Everything about pop lips. Silicone coated ram's wool, trimmed like deer hair, spun deer hair, but it's ram's wool, right? You coat it. You then take that same ram's wool, tie it reverse style, take your thumb and cover it in silicone and form a lip like a goddamn Rapala or bomber. And then you literally have a swim bait fly that you can squeeze the head, soak some water in so it sinks, or you can then take it, squeeze it, let the water drain out, and now it's buoyant, and you could fish it with a sink line above rocks. Literally the greatest fly of all time. And people are like, silicone, you're making a lip. You know what I mean? But nowadays we got squirmy wormies, we got gummy minnows, all right? The pop lip's more of a fly than anything else, you know? But that's my favorite, the pop lip. I'm telling you right now, when I probably got silicone poisoning as a child trying to tie that fly. And that's my favorite memory. Let's give it up. That's right. Give it up for silicone poisoning. Probably not good to be inhaling that stuff, I'll tell you that much. You definitely got to open a window. Reverse tied bucktail, that's a good one. That's probably more, I'd say, in terms of just overall, that's probably the most influential thing is like the hollow fly, right? Just in general. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, I guess surf candies and stuff, but I feel like just the reverse tie in general has now, like, a hollow tie has now become like the coup de grace of saltwater fly tying. If you could tie, like, if you could tie, like, I forgot Jay's last name, but there's Jay, there's Andrew Warshaw, there's Oh my god, I'm forgetting some of these guys' names. Ben Wally. Like if you can tie, or obviously Popovic's, if you could tie a hollow fly like that, that's in my opinion, that's considered the upper echelon of like, uh, I'm gonna almost call it glam fly tying. They're like these flies are like you don't even want to fish them. You know what I'm talking about? Like check out Ben Wally's fly tying. Check out Andrew Warshaw's fly tying. These flies, I mean, I some of these I just want to put them on my wall. Like if I got an Andrew Warsaw fly, I probably wouldn't fish it. It's one of those like a Mark Sidoti fly that you just keep. You're like, holy, this is next level sort of thing. You know what I mean? So look for Andrew's Custom Flies on Instagram, and then Ben Wally, and I forgot what Jay's. I'll look it up. I'll post it in. I'll post some of these fly tires in the Discord at some point, so you guys can check them out. But they're, in my opinion, the best when it comes to these. Like, I mean, like I said, you don't even want to fish it. What the hell are we doing? Are we tying a lizard fly? I don't know. Should we just do Mike Ross talk show? No, we're gonna tie. We're doing single hook. Are we doing a popperhead? I do have a crazy popperhead, but it is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. It's almost a little too crazy, but from the looks of the lizard stuff, I mean, I guess I feel like if I had the size one smaller of these popperheads, I would 100% go for it. I mean, I guess let's take a look and see, but you ain't throwing her on an 8-weight. I'll tell you that much. I was trying to fish these things the other day. Where the hell are these heads? Ah, yes. The howitzer, or no, the double barrel. These suckers get pretty big. So, I guess the idea is you do something like this, and now you have a lizard. Right? That's the lizard head. Articulated shanks. We probably have an arm, tail. And we have to make like a giant lizard body. This head's a little big, though. What do you think? Do we need to go with like... I mean, this is a 4-odd. Do we have something even bigger? Can we go with a 6-odd? I might have like a 6-odd beast hook or something. I feel like we're gonna... one of the main problems is with something like this is hook clearance, right? I guess we could always theoretically position the foam to where it's higher up like that. But, you want a sizable hook for when you're fishing something, like this, because otherwise it may not balance properly, yada, yada, yada. Let me just see what we got before we commit. I mean, we're probably just going to use this. I think it'll be okay. It's probably going to be not fun to cast, but I think they're going to be going through like mangroves or like rivers or jungles. So you could probably just flip and pitch it. I'm pretty certain I have the Arex Beast hooks. Yeah, this is a 6-odd. The unfortunate thing with these are they are shorter shanks. So, I mean... You know what I mean? You're still dealing with that. I mean, it's definitely larger, though, right? Not necessarily longer, but we definitely have a larger hook gap. It's about the same length. So, I say... Now I'm interested. That's a hook right there for a giant peacock bass. I think so. A great ambassador for fly fishing. Hey, thank you for your input, Mr. Kingbane. Now, I'll tell you what. This is the great thing that when I say like, oh, we're tying saltwater flies and this and that, of course, maybe hollow ties may not apply to trout, dry flies and stuff. But when it comes to the articulate or like the streamers, or in my opinion, one of my favorite non-saltwater fly tying area, or like things, is musky flies and pike flies. The muskies and pike flies are essentially just like giant saltwater flies, and a lot of these flies are, you know, what do you call it? A lot of these flies are pretty much just almost interchangeable at times. Put a stinger hook. I don't like messing with stinger hooks. You know what I mean? I definitely could, but I just don't like fishing with stinger hooks in general. And I also don't know how I'd rig it up so that the back hook wouldn't break off or something like that. I definitely could. Just on the back of the articulated shank or something like that. I just don't like fishing with that. I think we can just have a giant hook on the front and just have a lizard tail. And it's not going to be massive. It's only going to be about 5-6 inches. So it's going to be like a regular fly. I mean, a peacock bass is probably, a giant peacock bass is going to open its mouth. This entire fly is just going to like whoosh, suck into its mouth. Yeah, I think we'll go with this big 6-odd beast fly. How about that? Let me just double check. I mean, they're essentially the same size, so we're not losing anything. We're gaining hook gap, which is what we want. Yeah, I mean, we probably could. We probably should. I just don't like tying stingers. I'm not a big stinger guy. Like, it's one thing if you're, like, fishing for billfish or something like that, or something. But I feel like a peacock bass should have no problem getting hooked by this thing. And if not, then they twitch it, and it'll probably come back and eat it on the next one. You know what I mean? But, heaven forbid, it swallows it, and you hook it in the gills with a stinger hook or something, or vice versa, and then it's bleeding all over the place, and you just killed the peacock bass. You know what I mean? Especially with bass species, I feel like it's important to, what do you call it? To make sure, a lot of times they bite it at the head or they just inhale it, so. Especially striped bass. That's why I'll even remove the back hook on a plug and just fish a, No, it's not a bad idea, Jen. It's probably the right thing to do. I mean, look at the musky flies, this and that. I just don't like fishing stingers. You know me. You've watched my fly tying over the years. It's probably the right thing to do when fishing a giant articulated fly, like the trout streamers that we see all the time with the weird sexual names, unusual sexual names. Oh, God. What are those trout guys tying over there? What are they doing in their fly tying rooms? They're like, I'm tying the dungeon crawler BDSM screamer fly. Like, what? You couldn't call it the wiggler or something? Like, no, it's probably a good idea. I'm not comfortable with tying stingers, not because I'm like, oh, I'm not comfortable, because I'm not comfortable in terms of how do I secure it properly. Like, it's one thing if you just have articulated shanks, you know what I mean? But it's another thing if you have like a hook attached to the rear. Like, should I be tying some sort of mono and then tying it that way? Should I be tying it directly? It's not my forte necessarily. It's probably something I should learn how to do, is tie stingers properly for larger flies. But luckily, I'm a striped bass fly tyer in general. And if I tie billfish flies, I drop it off at the local fly shop, and I have them tie the stinger 8-odd Gamakatsu billfish leaders. Yeah. So then, how do you guys do it? I'm not gonna do it here, but how would you do stingers for your articulated flies? Anybody watching right now, you let me know. Some of the near tailwater guys throw huge streamers for trophy trout. I'm telling you. Yeah, at that point, you could be fishing a Popovic's hollow fly. You know what I mean? Like David Nelson mixes all sorts of different fly tying. I'd say he was definitely inspired by Kenny Abrams, as well as a lot of uh, Atlantic salmon type stuff, but I'm sure you had a lot of inspiration from Popovic's as well. Everybody did. And still does. Hey, Jim. How's it going, man? How you doing? All right. First things first here, we're just going to fit the popper first. We're just going to, like, test fit it. And then we're going to go ahead and do all of our articulated shanks. I knew this fly would take a while, but I didn't realize I would be gabbing so much. We've been streaming for an hour already, and we've just tied the thread on the hook. To be fair, though, I haven't streamed in a while, so it's good to catch up with you folks. So, and it's Halloween, so I should probably go get some candy at some point. Mono's too slick in my opinion. A lot of guys are using steel wire. Yeah, okay. So I've seen like either coated steel wire or something. Striper reports in Jersey are hot. Hey, speaking of which, let's check out the Discord. You guys want to see? I told you I suck at fishing, but haha, I caught one. I caught one. If doing it, usually titanium wire or game changer style shank if the flies are. So you would tie. Would you use the wire to secure the shank to the fly? Okay, no, I understand that you could use the wire, right? And just have that hanging off the back of the fly, right? But for an articulated style, how would you would, let's say, attach the hook to the rear, sticking up to the rear of the rearmost articulated section. Then it would be tied. How would you secure that to the hook? You would just tie the articulated shank directly to the hook? GSP thread. So what, you would go through the hook eye of the eye of the articulated shank and then wrap around it with just GSP thread, and then, or you could like, I guess theoretically go through with the wire and like secure it like that and then just tie it on there as a... All right. Well, we're not going to do it, but we should probably learn how to properly do it. No, tie it to the hook shank with just GSP thread. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. All right. Let's get this popper head fitted, shall we? Guess I did not make that. Just kind of like ream it out. If you had like a little file, or you know what I mean, like a little thing like that, it'd probably be easier. These things are pretty tight, so because we're going to be securing this, so I'd rather not rip it. Okay. I mean that's a pretty big gap on there. I think we'll be all right, and just have a bunch of shanks on there. I mean, that head is pretty big, though, dude. I think that'll be all right. Love the wig? Excuse me. I've been streaming for 2 weeks. How do you know I didn't go and get a perm? Yes, I'm dressed up as Mike Ross. You're correct. Is that Mike Ross? Hey, yo, it's me, Mike Ross. Everybody. Oh, hey, yo. It's me, Mike Ross. No, get your tacos. I just dressed up as Mike Ross for Halloween. Camel eggs. Don't miss out on tacos. Get your tacos. You can come back. Mike Ross is still locked up in Guadalajara. In fact, if you're going down to Mexico, you might want to bail him out. I don't know. It's pretty high, though. Can't stay long. My deer tacos are getting cold. Oh, man, you got venison tacos? Psh. Hell yeah. I over-seasoned the F out of them. Well, that means at least they're, like, seasoned. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hear you. Hit someone with a bus. Okay. Well, maybe don't do that part. But you can always just maybe... What if you just put different seasoning on it. You know what I mean? What could go wrong? Start adding every seasoning. By the way, that's a pretty big hook. All right. I have no idea what I'm doing, so we're going to start off small and then work our way up like we always do, articulated style. Now, do I want to do legs? Yes. Am I going to? Probably. Are they going to look good? I really don't know. That's up to fate, really. So, also, my back is definitely starting to act up after fishing all day, so we're going to need to take a stretch break here soon. Probably can't get much worse. What if you just rinse it out in the sink? Like rinse the deer meat out? You rinse your deer tacos? Just like wash it? Don't do that. That sounds worse. That sounds a lot worse. All right. A lizard. I'm thinking green. I'm also thinking whites. Probably a lot of EP fiber because I have it here on the desk. V-ties trimmed. There was a lot of foam that seemed to be involved, though. So maybe we really should just do foam legs. Are we opposed to foam legs? Type 1 in the chat if you don't want foam legs and you want articulated legs with material or whatever. They're still going to be articulated, right? They're going to be tied off at some point, either with mono or another articulated limb or something. I have no idea. Or whatever. Put a 1 for for the foam legs. Put a 2 for non-foam legs. It's up to you in the chat. You're helping decide. Well, I mean, if we looked at the Instagram video that I sent you, the homework assignment, Craggerroll, I'm not going to judge you because you're in India. Okay, so the service might be different, but it seemed to have foam legs. A lot of foam. So type of 1 or just foam legs, whatever works. I mean, I did just describe the whole voting system, Doc, and you just type foam legs? Come on. Now everybody's they're just gonna be typing empanadas or something. Foam legs? Yeah. That's probably right. So what do we do? It's too late. We've already moved past the number system, Craggerroll. Clearly the delay in India is too much. All right? Clearly. Gotcha. The voting system is still alive. You are correct. Imanates. Okay, we could go Imanate style. That's a famous French fly tyer where he would suspend himself from a chair. His chair would be suspended from the ceiling, and he would tie it that way. Essentially, just take this chair and suspend it bungee style. Foam, and I have no clue? Okay. Posted inspiration in the Discord. Is it Emanate style? Shit. Okay, that seems similar. Very nice, very nice. So, articulated shank, then hook? Is that allowed? Are we allowed to do that? See, this is what I'm talking about. Foam legs. Yeah, foam legs. There seems to be foam everywhere on these lizard flies. The whole thing's made out of foam. It's just foam here, foam there. Okay. And a dragon tail. Shit, well, we're out of luck. I don't have one of those. But, okay. I kind of like that articulated head in front of the hook. That's just, like, freaking me out. And I kind of like it. So, I think we do that. And then we just do a couple articulated shanks. Tie some little foam legs on there. Did you tie this, Doc? Looks cool if you did. When is the giant articulated centipede fly going to be tied, Mr. Ross? God damn it, Camel Eggs, it was you, wasn't it? It was you, wasn't it? I literally earlier I was like, who is hanging out and telling me to tie flies blindfolded with my feet and like, I think I got the suspended chair idea from you. Yeah. I do good. No. I'm joking. It's all good. Cringe? Yes. You want to see cringe? Stick around. I have a music video where I play 3 different people, and you're talking cringe. I mean, you're gonna need to put a leather belt in your mouth when you watch it. I don't know if you're into that sort of thing, but it's that cringe. You might be biting through your tongue. You know what I mean? Just seeing it on Reddit. Well, luckily I'm not on that cesspool of a platform, but yeah. All right, let's keep time. We're getting awfully distracted here. Like I said, Mike Ross will be coming back at some point once we do pay his bail in Guadalajara. We need to talk to the federales, right? I've been trying to get through to them. They're asking for a lot, We don't have that much. But like I said, if anyone has connections with the federales down in Los Concitos, down near Tijuana, maybe we can get them out. That's on you. It's on you. All right. We're starting from the rear, articulated shank. So we're going to start off end of the tail here. We're essentially working up a tail section, and that's going to be going up to the hook, which is going to be the body, I guess, or part of the body's articulated section. And then we're going to have the head on an articulated piece itself in front of the hook. It's a lot to deal with, but we're going to be attempting the impossible, really. Some say it couldn't be done. A lizard fly, never been done. That's what they said. And you're saying, hey, what's these images? I'm pretty certain all these lizard fly images we've seen, it's all been AI generated. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen what AI can do. It's unbelievable. So I'm almost certain we're the first one to ever do it. And Camel Eggs gave me the idea originally, so it's all up to him. So give it a shout out to Camel Eggs. Round of applause. I've had you tie a bunch of stacked deer hair and stuff in the past. I'm always impressed by my inability. Oh, you've stumped me many times. You've stumped me many times, Camel Eggs. And it won't be the last. But that's fine. I'm here for it. We are tying a little bit of EP fiber. I have a ton of this EP fiber laying around because I've been tying a lot of peacock bass flies for this guide. So that's kind of where we got the inspiration from. Not only Camel Eggs, but also from the fact that we're tying all these peacock bass flies. That this guide sent me a video, this lizard fly, and I was like, all right, Halloween, I would have loved to do like a whole Montauk monster. You guys crashed the boat. I'm not going to give too much away. In fact, I'm going to shut up about it because maybe we'll do it again at some point. It's a good idea. We're essentially, I hate saying this. It's like D&D, but not. I just hate saying it. I hate saying D&D. Oh, I fucking hate it. Excuse my language. TTRPG role-playing. See, it's just so much easier to say D&D because everybody knows it. But like D&D with chat, and you guys are playing. And it's fishing related. And that's going to be some Halloween at some point. But tune into the future probably like 40 years from now or something. And we can do that. They don't know that, though? Well, I just said it. So we are taking, let's see, what do we here? We got these 10 millimeter, 20 mils. I think I got 25s. We're probably just going to start with these 10s. Let's go a couple 10s for the back part of the tail. Go to a 20, go to a 25. Easy. We got a tail section. Then we can go to a larger piece. I don't know if we necessarily want to go with this. Probably like a, oh my God. It's probably like a 60 mil or something. And then to the hook. But we probably don't need to do that because we are going to be putting the articulated piece in front of the popper, in front of the hook with the popper head. So now I am realizing though, I don't know if I have the perfect size. Like, what size shank do we need for that popper head? You know what I mean? We might need to use that big one. That's 60 mil. Because I don't know how else you would fit it on there. Now, this is one of my least favorite things is like trying to get these in there sometimes. Like, I mean, I guess it's good it's tight, but there we go. By the way, round of applause for Regal Vice. The fact that I can just jam this in there and it doesn't move. It's like putting it in like a 2-ton press or something. Hey, Camel Legs, have a nice night. Enjoy the tacos, man. We'll see you around. Thanks again for stopping by, brother. Okay, we'll put a little bit of glue on there. All right, let's tie the tail before we do anything, all right? We haven't been very productive. Okay, a lot of gabbing going on. We got a lizard fly to tie. Put some thread on there. So we got some candy out there in like a we did the no interaction Halloween approach. We just put a giant bowl of candy outside, like out in the driveway, and we say, "Have at it," you know. And I always wonder, is it like it's just two kids coming and grabbing all of it, like each year or something? Because we don't really get a lot of trick or treaters. It's just like there's no street lights or anything around. It's not a very good place for trick or treating, you know. It's like a smaller road, so. But I guess we'll see what the damage is. We'll see if somebody, and I'm telling you, it's good. I looked in there, it was all Reese's Pieces or Reese's peanut butter cups. So we're talking top notch. You know what I mean? None of these junk candies where you're getting like one good one and they give you like 8 other ones in the mix. This is like pure peanut butter cups. I should go out there and get one before they're all gone. I'll tell you that much. We probably got a stockpile, but those kids are going to be eating good. Imagine, I mean, I'm thinking as a kid, if I went and I saw there was like a thing of just Reese's peanut butter cups, like 50 of them sitting there, that's dangerous. That's a lot of trust. You know what I mean? Don't you dare, though. I got a camera out there, Rev. Don't you dare go take... I mean, you can have a couple, but you have to obviously, you know, be in a costume or something. It is patrolled by sentry bots. I forgot to mention that. But like Fallout-style robots, like beep, 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 Gatling guns. They do check for costumes. You know, it'd be a shame if I went out there and there was like all of the Reese's peanut butter cups were still there. What happened in this country? Kids aren't taking the whole goddamn candy bowl anymore. They aren't even trick-or-treating. They're probably Fortniting right now. Dabbing on somebody on Fortnite. By the way, when I get done with the stream tonight, I'm 100% watching the Djibouti stream. Of course, every year, Djibouti Show does their Halloween stream. It's like my tradition, is watching the Djibouti Halloween stream. I don't think they're doing anything too crazy this year, which is a vibe. I feel it. Been working so much, I haven't been able to do any crazy Halloween thing, but it's always a good time watching that stream. So, and luckily, I can watch that shit on YouTube. I just like give them my Twitch Prime and then I just watch it on YouTube. I can get wrecked. Get wrecked. Yep. By the way, what the hell? I wasn't even paying attention. Like, Asmongold got banned. We didn't got to talk about everything, but then, like, I saw Twitch was... all sorts of crazy Twitch stuff was going on, and I'm like, man, why can't... And then I just saw, like, Russia sued YouTube for Yeah, was it 2.5 decillion? It was literally decillion. And I'm like, I haven't seen decillion since it was like elementary school or something. But I'm like, what the hell's going on, bro? Bunker fish for 2 weeks, and I'm like, come back. I'm like, man, it's crazy out here. Things are crazy. YouTube's getting decillioned. They got decillioned. I forgot that was a number. What was the one that I feel like kids would always say when you were making, like, you were doing the imaginary, or not imaginary, I guess it's real. Like, once, like, kids would learn above a million or billion or trillion. What was, like, it was a quadrillion, or what's like the meme, before meme was even a term. Like, I'm thinking as a kid, we would say, like, oh, dude, yeah, you could buy it for, like, 55 schmillion or something. Gazillion. Yes, thank you, Manic. Also, Manic, hello. Gazillion. Is that even a real number? Have we decided? Has the jury settled the case on gazillion? Because apparently decillion is real. It sounds like a some sort of like pizza sauce or something. Decillion's pizza sauce. It's like a brand name you can get at Costco. I know, Doc. I know. I can't help it though, man. You know what I mean? Should be. You're right. Damn straight. All right. We are apparently tying a lizard fly. All right, guys, we're done. What do you think? What should we use? Like a 7-weight for this or something? All right, now we're going to bump it up 20 mils. I wish I had 15s. But also with 20 mils, we get to skip more steps. And my back hurts because I was bunker fishing all day. So I'm all for the Lawner articulated shanks. 100%. Yeah, gazillion. Perfect, man. I mean, you read my mind. That was it. Be like, yeah, dude, I'll trade you that Blastoise for... Or I wouldn't trade you that Blastoise for a gazillion Charizards or whatever. You know, some dumb child, number scenario. There you go. A weird child number scenario where you'd be making up numbers as a little kid on the playground. By the way, I traded a goddamn Charizard for a beat up Blastoise because Blastoise was my favorite. And it was like, even though I was a kid, I took care of my stuff. So, I mean, that was probably a pretty nice Charizard. And it probably wasn't first edition. It probably was like, or printing after, but like back in, the old school ones. But that's how it goes. The older kid on the bus was like, hey, you like Blastoise? Here you go. And it like looked like it came out of a laundry bin. You know what I mean? And I'm like, because I had a Pokemon Blue. And I was like, I remember getting Pokemon Blue. I've said the story before, but I'll say it again. Going to Toys R Us and then going to Friendly's and going through the Verillion Forest or something while eating chicken sticks or whatever, cheese sticks. What was the name of that? The Munchie Mania combo you could get at Friendly's? It's like burned in my memory or something, that experience. But yeah, this kid scammed me. But touche to him. You know what I mean? He played the little kid and he got the Charizard, and that's how you do it. You got to scam those little kids out of those Pokemon cards. I loved it though. I was 100% willing. There wasn't a value on these cards. Nobody cared if a Charizard was whatever. It was like, okay, I played Pokemon Blue, so yeah, I want a Blastoise. Also, I just realized this isn't in focus, so. Has this been like this the whole time? Shame on you if you saw this and you didn't say anything. But yeah, so I was all for it. It's all good. We used white. So maybe this is like white for the belly or something. Okay. We got to get it together. So what we're going to do is we are going to, I was like, let's get our color scheme together. We're doing white on the belly or like a cream color. I have this like cream. I guess you could call it cream. It's definitely not white. It's like an off-white maybe. We're going to use that for the belly, and then we'll use chartreuse for the top, and that's going to be our lizard. Is this going to be even fishable? I don't know. It's going to have a hook on it, and you can throw it. So I guess. Oh, dude. Are we talking like alpha beta? Are we talking because I should sell every single magic card I have. We've embraced the proxy life because we're commander nerds. We don't even play that much anymore. But so much, like some of my decks, dude, they're up there. My commander decks. God, Wizards of the Coast was so smart when they figured out that commander was like they could just make infinite money with the commander format. Like, oh yeah, you want 100 random cards and a lot of them that are like, you know, good luck. You're gonna need about 5 of those too because you got 5 red decks. We're gonna trade 40 cards for like a Charizard. 20 minutes later, his dad convinced my dad it was an unfair trade. Yep. My dad's probably like, all right, cool. You got the blue one? Oh, you like, all right, cool. My dad was like, I don't fucking know, dude. What do you want me to do? See that nowadays, you damn straight. I'd be like, you traded a QCR Dark Magician for that gimmick puppet? I'm like, we're going back. You know, if it was hell no. I'm like checking the TCG player value. Oh, okay, very nice. Well, Magic in general holds its value pretty good. Unless it's like a ban-worthy card on Commander or something like Jeweled Lotus or Dockside. That one hurt me a little bit, but... Yep. Yeah. Magic holds its value pretty good. Magic's got it. It's probably the strongest card game out there, especially when it comes to... I've had a lot of fun playing it. It's great. Definitely not spending any more money, though, with Wizards of the Coast. I'll tell you that much. Hell no. You want me to try and chase a Mana Crypt only for you to ban it? And then probably unban it and then also make it, like, impossible to get? I enjoy, like, Commander. I enjoy draft format and sealed and stuff. It's a lot of fun, but... I was thinking you could use a small section of Game Changer Chenille or a small section EP Brush or something similar just for the tail. Yes, that probably would make sense. I don't know if I have like a 1 point. See, the problem is like I would like to get the size Lawner over time, right? Obviously. I don't know if I have like a 1.5 Foxy brush and then have like a 3-inch Foxy. Let me take a look real quick. Oh, you want to know BS with Wizard of the Coast 30th anniversary? I said, all right, cool. I never got to play alpha or beta. But yeah, sure, $1,000 for 4 packs. Proxied, essentially, cards. All right. I'm going to makeplayingcards.com. On the back, proxy, not for sale. You can get an entire, That's all. I don't want to say too much. I don't even know if I can. Okay? Wizards of the Coast might send somebody for me, but... Embrace the proxies. And just play with your friends. If somebody has a problem with you proxying cards, then just don't play with them. Because... I totally get it. Some people don't like it, but this isn't competitive format. It's a casual format. So I would literally say to people, do you want to play against me or do you want to play against my wallet? And that would like shut them up every single time. And if not, I'd be like, all right, cool. We don't got to play them. Because it's ridiculous. these dudes are playing with like mana crypts, not Gaia's Cradle, but like these sort of level cards where it's like $100, $200 cards. They're tutoring this and that. I'm like, we're playing a casual game night at the local magic shop. Why are you tutoring up infinite combos with like Ancient Tomb and Mana Crypt? And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you didn't tell me we were playing almost CDH. I'm playing like a precon that's like, for fun. But yeah. Anyways. And they'd be like, is that a proxy card? I'd be like, yeah, it is. What are you going to say about it? Oh, well, the owner does. I'm like, yeah, the owner doesn't say shit because we actually spend money here, bro. We're adults. Go tell him we're playing with proxies. You think he cares? We're not like some bum, we're like normal people. So he's like, oh yeah, come on in. You know what I mean? I don't think we have brushes. I'm just V-tying it. We're just going to V-tie it. That was the plan. I like your idea, Doc. Ideally, if we were going hardcore on this, I would have made custom dubbing brushes starting with like half an inch, an inch, inch and a half, 2-inch. You know what I mean? And I'll work my way up. We're just going to do something simple here. We're going to do a couple basic V-ties. We got to speed it up, though, for sure. We'll probably take a break here shortly. Go get a drink. So we're just going to do some V-ties top and bottom. We'll do green on top, white for the bottom. We could probably also interchange and just do white and then green, white and green, and have like some spots and stuff like that. We don't have to be perfectly two-tone color pattern the whole time. I tell you what, though, once I get done with these peacock bass flies, I am not tying with EP Flybear for a while. The stuff just like makes a mess, and it loves like if you grab a single strand accidentally, like you put your scissors down and you accidentally grab the scissors with a single strand, you'll like pull like 50 strands of EP fiber away from the bunch. It's been driving me crazy. I'm like, I have to have it like pre-cut and set up in a way. So otherwise it just ends up like, I end up making a mess everywhere is what happens. You know what I mean? EP fiber is great, but it's like one of those things, just like, angel hair, even swimpish hair, just in general, certain materials you have to, they end up leading to, material everywhere sometimes. But they're so damn good. So, it's fine. I put up with it. The worst I would say with natural materials, dude, rabbit fur. Probably like a rabbit fur or marabou, but the problem with like marabou I'm okay with. Rabbit fur, dude, those hairs are so small, you literally like end up breathing them in. So, little fun fact. You got to be careful processing rabbits and squirrels if you go hunting. There's like some sort of like illness you can get, some sort of like pneumonia. And what happens is you're like processing squirrel or rabbit, and you'll like breathe in some of the hair and get transmitted some of this like pneumonia disease or something. I remember reading it while I was deer hunting one day. I was like, all right, I ain't messing with the squirrels, I'll tell you that much. But it's somewhere on the East Coast. So it's like you got to take a look at their like organs and stuff and make sure they don't have spots on them and what. I mean, that's like kind of like a general thing you do in general, but that kind of turned me off to small game hunting, honestly. I'm sure it's like probably not super widespread, but it would just freak me out, the idea of like processing like a deer, I mean, not a deer, but processing like a squirrel or something, and like a little bit of hair goes flying up into your nostril, and like you could see the microscopic view is like movie view as it's going in, like whoosh, and it's like spray. You're like, oh no. The blue are you talking, did you spell the bubonic and did it spell blue bionic, or is it called the blue bionic plague? Or is it the bubonic plague? Because the bubonic plague is still still exists out in North America. Not too long ago, Somebody actually died. It was a wildlife ranger. They found a dead mountain lion or something. And they were inspecting the mountain lion to see if it was poached or how it died or whatnot. And they like opened its mouth and like got hit in the face with bubonic plague, essentially. And like died not too long ago. Sounds like some school bus magic. Yeah, well, it just went from school bus to the card shop, I guess. It was bubonic. Yeah. Yeah, the bubonic plague is still a thing, believe it or not. Even in North America, it's pretty crazy. I didn't know squirrels had it and stuff. There's probably all sorts of vermin and like, yeah, it's transmitted from fleas, from like rats and all sorts of stuff. That's pretty crazy though. Squirrels, huh? And I'm assuming this like mountain lion got it from eating some sort of vermin or something, you know? So that's a fun thought. A little bubonic plague on your hiking trip, maybe. Yeah, we're gonna get myself a squirrel tonight. End up looking like you came out of the Middle Ages or something. Yeah, luckily I think well, that's the thing. Like, I wonder, do they even have like modern day? I'm sure they have ways of treating it and stuff, but I mean, it seems like people still, you know, end up being affected by it pretty badly. So, yeah, it's pretty. I guess if you find dead animals, don't mess around with them. Is the lesson. Especially probably ones that look like they died from bubonic plague. You know what I mean? I'm assuming that's not as visible on animals as it would be on humans or something. You been watching bobcats? Yeah, I'm assuming probably any sort of predators that deal with like smaller animals and stuff like that, where fleas could be prevalent. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, gophers or like prairie dog, whatever. I don't know what they eat out there. Some sort of small mammals or whatever, you know? Why is this not focusing properly? Come on, man. I gotta get this thing set up. It's unfortunately focusing on the... There we go. I don't want to have to keep checking that out all the time. Hey, Manic. All right, hey, appreciate it. Have a happy Halloween and have an awesome night, all right? Thank you so much. We're gonna type this lizard fly, and I'm gonna probably go do something like that myself. So I just wanted to stream after work, and because it's something that we enjoy doing on Halloween. But thank you, man. Appreciate it. You have an awesome night. Or thank you. All right. Let's get this last. We got one more articulated shank. I gotta take a break. I gotta blow my nose first off. But second off, it's hot. We gotta take a stretch here. Hit the old hookah lounge. Also, just get up and move around a little bit because my back. Excuse me. Let me be professional and mute myself if I'm coughing. All right. Yeah, well, make sure we have enough hair on here so that when we trim it, we're good. So one thing you got to make sure if you're V-tying EP fiber, you're going to be trimming it like traditionally. You got to make sure it's packed tight enough and whatnot to where you don't end up with those, essentially large thread gaps in between and whatnot. And you can see what I like to do sometimes. I'll just literally, instead of cutting it, I'll just rip it up by hand. It's pretty easy to break up EP fiber. I'll just break it down. Almost like process it, make it a little smaller. And we just throw a V-tie on there. You fold that back. Yada, yada, yada. Easy. Yeah, a dubbing brush would have been a hell of a lot simpler. Unfortunately, I don't think I have... I know exactly what you're talking about. Those game changer stuff. I think we used a lot of that. I was like doing commercial ties with it and stuff. All right. I think we are going to take a break because I need to stand up for a little bit. My back is getting a little stiff here. I'm going to attach this 25 millimeter shank. I think this, we probably need at least, maybe one more shank or something. Let's see. Where's this hook? It's going to be this hook with a popper head in front of it. Yeah, we probably want at least a couple more articulated sections, huh? I mean, we don't have to, like, do we want to put the popper head in front of it? How would we do it? Is the question. I don't have, like, the perfect size shank is the issue. So it's going to be pretty big, which is like, I mean, I guess we could just make the fly large, right? It would essentially be something like this, right? Because there's like your hook eye. I think we're just going to put it on the hook. You know what I mean? Instead of putting that in front. So yeah, we're going to go with a couple more shanks here. We'll probably go with another 20 mil before we go to the 25s. If I had like the right shank for the right size for that head, that'd be good. But I think we're going to end up with a weird proportion. So we need to go with foam legs too. Holy cow. Why couldn't we just tie? I should have just tied a couple smaller I underestimated how long a lizard articulated fly with foam legs would actually take after a full day of working. All right. Let's trim this little tag end. Sorry, nothing the hookah lounge can't fix. I think we just go, and then another, probably 20 mil here, and then two 25s. We'll just cut some basic foam legs, put those on there, and then we'll attach to the body up front. Thing is, this is like a huge popper head, dude. Oh, God. But, you know what? Screw it. I'm giving this to this guide for free, so we'll see what he says about my lizard creation, I suppose. They'd be like, well, that was cool. All right. Posture check. Yes, thank you. I think it's time for a proper stretch here, so I'm just going to go and hit the hookah lounge real quick and grab another drink, and we will be back here to finish this lizard fly. We're essentially going to work our way up, so we'll probably do one or two more shanks, and then we'll have our little tail, and then we'll just do a leg or two and keep working our way up. So, I mean, I wish I had a little smaller head, right? Because I feel like we could, you know, it wouldn't have to be so large. This is pretty mondo. But that's all right. Maybe we'll see. We could go with like a banner head, right? It's not as cool. I don't know if it's yeah, we'll see. Let's keep working our way up. I'm just thinking like proportion wise, right? For something like this. I mean, it could just have we could just make the body pretty big and it slims down. We'll make it like wide or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're free balling it. This is how Halloween fly tying goes. All right. We'll be back in just a moment here. Is it time? God, how long are we going to spend tying this lizard fly? I think it's time. Let's play the infamous now 2021 Halloween special music video. I'm gonna go hit the hookah lounge, and we'll be back to figure out what the hell we're doing with this lizard fly.
No, it can't be. No. Must be hearing things. What? You were supposed to be dead. I survived. Yeah, well, after you smuggled those damn emu eggs, forget about the damn emu eggs for once. Well, I got in a lot of shit for that. Don't care. I don't care. I see how it is. I'm here to take your place. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Let's settle it. A musical battle. Mano y mano? Me? LI Flies Mike? Yeah. And you? Me? That's right, you. Oh, me. Little peacock. Introducing the competitors. LI Flies Mike versus Little Peacock. Mike Ross on the bass, and of course, Jerry on the motherfucking drums. Little Peacock, you were supposed to be dead. The Federales in Los Concito were supposed to take you out. Yeah, suck on this. This goes out to all my albioers out there. Across the world. Slide in them DMs, girl. You thought get rid of me? Nah. I'm just getting started. You can stop me with all of your might. Hold up, let me crack this Philly just right. Ski Mask and Cavassi, yeah. Just ask your girl cause we all play. I'm on a mission to conquer this front. In the Porsche, rolling bad blunts. Emu eggs up in the back of the trunk. Fat stacks of the Benjamins, yeah. You hit me up, what do you need? Polar bear, jungle cock, making green. Mop fly, squirmy worm, you chuck a meat. Snag a trout off the reds any week. They say, Little P, have you no shame? No, I sold it for a double lemon haze. Damn straight, yeah, you're hearing this right. Little peacock in your face, tearing up the mic. It's a chore, juggling these albie hoes. Texting booty pics across before a phone. In the DM, saying she's all alone. I'll be real quick, girl, let me slide in from the back door. But enough about me, you know I'm the shit. Fat cock and all, it's legit. You get one chance before the final hit. So what you got to say, you little bitch? Little peacock, little baby peacock, it's time to banish you, send you back to hell. The Federales in Los Concito couldn't finish you off, so why don't you take this tasted lip? Thought you can get rid of me? You never learn. Sheesh. I'm invincible, cuz. A true motherfucking immortal being. The hoes on there getting hot, burning up. Got these tricks that hanging from my nuts. A lyrical flow before I'm singing. My inner power fueled by sticky green. Just metaphysical on molecules in space. And time itself stops as I a race. You off this rock we call Earth on this very day. You can go to church, won't work anyway. Now to regain my throne here on Twitch, let me explain the situation real quick. I can see you shaking down the spine. At this time, little foul-hooked fish on the line. I'm a tiger shark ready to attack. No way in hell you're holding me back. Sitting with the blicky up in the trap. A harem of hoes and making that booty clap. You know what, cuz I ain't gonna front. I just feel bad at this point. Beaten up, broken down. L.I. flies Mike, the fly tying clown. Are you ready? It's time for the prophecy to come to light. Alright, Mike Ross. I never asked much of you. You're just a fly here or there. But I need your help. I need you to put down that bass guitar, pick up that motherfucking Strat, and let's melt the world's face off. You ready? Let's do it.
Oh my god, that was unbelievable. I'm fired up. I don't know about you. I grabbed another White Claw and I'm fired up. I didn't even put my Mike Ross wig back on yet. I'm ready to tie lizard fly after that. How about you folks? God damn. Good times. One day, mark my words, we will, Little Peacock will return. Against my will, he will return. And I will banish him again. I can't believe it either, but, you know, I started working with, I blame it on this guy Carlos that I work with. Alright, it's all his fault. Also, I was getting fat. I still drink Guinness from time to time. I don't drink a lot, but, you know, after a hard day's work, there's nothing wrong with it. But, yeah, man. Too much Guinness. And, I hate to say it, Doc, don't hate me. But, I was starting to see the effects. You know? Starting to look like a Guinness model. You know what I mean? You find me down at the old pub. Look like I'm half pregnant or something. Switch to cheap whiskey. Yeah, you know, but hey, you know. Look, don't judge me. All right, how dare you judge my beverage of choice at the particular moment? All right. Cheap whiskey. Yeah, let me get it. Just show up to the liquor store. Yeah, let me get it. I don't know why I just pictured like I'm like pulling up in an old Ford 1991 F-150 two-wheel drive pickup truck And it looks like I like have those wood boards on the side so I can pick up scrap metal or something. Like, hey, let me get some old whiskey. All right, V-Tine. Start banging them out. After that musical experience, we just, I'm just going to say it, endured. Pretty much, I had to endure it. But the good type of endurement, which I don't think is a word. But I'm going to say it. Luckily, I've been doing a lot of V-Tine, so pretty much only been V-Tine, as you could see, from the past 2 weeks. Not really, but probably the past week or so, I've just been V-Tine, EP fiber, over and over again. So I got some tunes going in the background for myself on YouTube, like classic rock playlists. And Boston just came on. You want to talk about bringing me back to like high school times, listening to Boston? You would think I grew up in high school in like 1974, but no, it was in it was in the late, or I mean, I guess the early 2000s or no, late 2000s. But yeah, Boston, man. And talk about some jams. Eating nachos. Dirty Durried out of my mind. Yeah. Good times. All right. I'm making an executive decision. And I don't know what it is yet, but I'm gonna make up my mind at some point. And if this fly's taking too long, we gotta do something about it. Okay? Because Mike Ross needs his beauty rest after bunker fishing. Sure, that's how we survived the famine. True. The caloric intake on Guinness is high enough to where you could probably, survive a small-scale apocalyptic situation. You know what I mean? Like when Hurricane Irene hit us or something in New York and we didn't have gas or like power for like a week. I probably should have just drank Guinness. Not a medical and not a professional opinion, so don't do it. But I probably should. Yeah, what's the name of that album? The name of the album with the spaceship with More Than a Feeling? Is it More Than a Feeling? No, it's Boston, right? Is that the name of that album? I have the vinyl downstairs. I think it's just Boston, right? Wasn't that their first album? But that album in particular is literally, you could put it on. There's not many albums. Over the years, there is some, right? There's some. It is Boston, okay? That album you can put on from start to finish. You don't need to do nothing. You know? You don't got to... And now in the digital age, you can skip, right? It was much harder to skip with vinyl. You had to get up, pick up the needle, move it. I'm getting too chatty. We got to keep tying. But that was one of the albums that you could listen through from start to finish. If you had nacho cheese on your hands, you didn't have to get up and move it. I specifically say nachos because I remember me and my one friend Victor, right? Who I don't even know where the hell he is nowadays. It's crazy. He's a crazy son of a bitch. And we're hanging out after high school, and my dad was nice enough to make us nachos. And we had Boston, the album, just on vinyl. I was playing it for him. And we just sat there and hung out and listened to it. And my dad just showed up with nachos, and I remember my buddy Victor's face was like, when he showed up with nachos for us. He was like, what the? He was like, this is crazy. Man. I wonder what he's up to. It's great. Too bad I don't go on Facebook or anything like that. It's like the only way to keep in touch with some of these mofos if they ain't on Instagram or something. And then, like, I'm hearing songs like Beatles that I haven't listened to in so long from Sgt. Pepper's. And I want to just rant about the Bee Gees movie, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, but from the Bee Gees. I'm not like a Bee Gees dude, right? I'm not out there, in the disco clubs, right? That's not my sort of jam. But I gotta say, the Bee Gees knocked it out of the park. If you're ever looking for a time, what does that mean? I don't know. You figure it out. What's a time? If you're looking for a time, just go watch the Bee Gees version of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. They made it into a movie, is what they did. And I'm telling you right now, I used to play that all the time while washing dishes, and my ex-girlfriend hated it. She's like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "It's the Bee Gees version of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. What are you talking about? You can't tell?" And it was good. I'm talking about almost too good. You should go watch it. I'm almost certain you can watch it for free. Like, it's just uploaded on YouTube. So if you haven't ever heard of that before, and you're a fan of the Beatles and stuff, check it out. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they knocked it out of the park. Because, I mean, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is such a good album. I remember I went to see a John Lennon exhibit in Paris, and they had, like, all of the recording studio equipment. They had John Lennon's Gibson guitars, his casino Epiphones and stuff, all the Vox amps, all the the recording equipment that they recorded. I'm pretty certain, like, Sergeant. Oh my God, now I can't. I said the name 45 times. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. You just got to say it fast. If you say it slow, you're gonna forget what the name is. But if you just say it fast, it's like riding a bicycle. You know what I mean? But that was awesome. And I touched one of the Gibson guitars and one of the amps. I know. But just real quick. It was in France, brother. A little bit more laxed. Real quick. Boop. I got some of the energy. That's what went into the Halloween music video, was John Lennon's energy from that Vox amp. So, I'm just saying, lock me up. I ain't going back to Paris. Do you think I can afford a plane ticket? You know how much? You know the euro to USD conversion rate nowadays? They're probably like, "Oh, yes, these dumb Americans." Everybody in France is so nice. I remember, like, especially at some point, people are like, "Man, France hates America." We go there, people are just great. It was fantastic. I love going to France. I had a good time going down to Brittany on the east coast of France, down to Normandy and all that. Seeing some of the spots, some of the beach landing spots. Seeing that where, like, U.S. troops had to, like, run through the tide and stuff. And, like, coming from, like, the beaches that we have here in Long Island, they're very steep, right? And they're very, like, if you consider from the water to, like, where the dunes are, or where land is, it's very short. These beaches went on for miles. I remember just, like, I'd never seen anything like that. I was like, "Oh man, this is crazy." And I was like, couldn't imagine doing a beach landing here or something. It was crazy. But France is beautiful. There were some places that we went through that, like, you could probably find elves, like, out in Karnak and stuff. What is it, Korrigans they're called? They're like their version of leprechauns or something. And I remember I had a high school teacher named Mrs. Corrigan, and I told her that. And I'm like, your name, there's actually little leprechauns in not Ireland, in France, and they call them Korrigans. She was like, "Shut up, sit down." Like, Your name is actually French leprechauns. And they throw stones at people when you aren't looking at night. And they giggle at you. But it was definitely the sort of place where there would be little... yeah, they're very Celtic. I have some books. Some, like, art books and stuff from Brittany. And it's very, very... It's, like, pretty much Celtic as you can get. You know what I mean? Like, their art and stuff. Very interesting. Beautiful, beautiful place. I was very lucky to be able to, like, go there and, like, just check it out. Eat some crepes down there, dude. Sheesh. I had some of the best pizza I've ever had. It was like pizza with... And I come from New York, all right? We have good pizza here, all right? I'm a Long Islander. But it was like a pizza with like goat cheese on it. And I believe the pizza place was called La Cannibale. The Cannibal. Or something like that. It was so good. Some of the best... It was like this little place in Brittany. And it probably wasn't even... Brittany's like a very wide term. It was somewhere... I don't know if it was like specifically there, but... Little tiny French towns. At lunchtime, everything shuts down for 3 hours. You can't get lunch at lunchtime. Can you imagine coming from, like, I guess, like a hyper-capitalist society? You go there, lunchtime, people are like, no, it's lunchtime. Even the restaurants. No, it's lunch. We're taking lunch. You're like, what? You're a restaurant. What do you mean? Yeah, it's lunch. What do you mean? And we're like, we couldn't believe it. The only, like, restaurant at the Monet Gardens, which is, this is such like an American thing to say. It's like we go there at lunch and they're like, yeah, it's lunch, get out of here. They're like, what do you mean? You're the restaurant, it's lunch. That was probably like the most American conversation I've ever had about France. I was talking about that lunch scenario. And then we also went to like the small French town, middle of the day. You know, you had to buy food beforehand. Otherwise, you're not going to eat for 3-4 hours. So hopefully you don't have blood sugar issues or something, because you might pass out, you know? What's the drink, too, associated with the fairies of the forest? Chartreuse, how could I forget? Cooled? Is that what it is? I've never even heard of that. There's a fairy chartreuse drink? I mean, let me know. That sounds like a D&D scenario. I should be handing out. Is that how do you say it? Cooled? It's spelt like, could? I mean, tell me. That's something I'm 100% putting in my next Savage Worlds. I'm like, hey, yeah, you guys hang out with some fairies and get drunk and drink some Cooled. You know? All right, when are we putting legs? Is this a large enough tail for this thing? We've been streaming for 2 hours. We're never going to tie this lizard fly. This lizard fly is never going to get done. There's like no way it's getting done. Unless we 100% change the game plan. I'm telling you right now, I haven't even eaten dinner yet. There's no way. This lizard fly is getting done. We tied a lizard tail, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. In fact, I meant cooled or could. It's called chartreuse. Is it really? Chartreuse. Hold on, I'm just gonna make a note in my Savage Worlds campaign, real quick. 2 seconds. Chartreuse. Real quick. Pirate's Life is what I call it. And we'll just go down. I'll make a new page. Fairy drink chartreuse. Perfect. I'm going to have to do some research on that. Because that's very interesting. I didn't hear about that. We did visit these stones in Karnak. So, that's where it was. I think we stayed. It was like, or maybe Brittany's like a term for like the area of France. I'm pretty sure we stayed like around Karnak, if not Karnak. I gotta ask my dad. But Karnak is like the Stonehenge of France, essentially. And they were like, oh, there's Korrigans, these little people in the woods, and they'll throw rocks at you in the dark and laugh at you or something. And then there's these stones, and the stones were put, and the people here were very Celtic, and they used to watch out. There might have been dragons or something. There was, I don't know. That was like my summary as a kid going there. But I just remember a lot of dragon stuff at the like memorabilia at the store, probably the tourist stores or something. I think I actually have a very cool painting or like a print of a painting of this red dragon. It was a sort of place where if you went back hundreds and hundreds of years, and if there were dragons, that's the sort of place there would be dragons, is in the forests around that place or something. You know what I mean? It's like an absinthe. Oh, okay, gotcha. Chartreuse, created in 1840, produced using 130 botanicals in an aged oak. Holy cow. Well, that's wild. It's stronger and less sweet. It's an invigorating after-dinner elixir and tonic. And first drink made by Carthusian monks? Is that how you pronounce that? Carthusian. Carthusian? Carthusies? The Carthusi monks? No. All right. Let's tie this tail. Shall we? I don't know what you guys, I never said we were tying a lizard fly. I said we were tying a lizard tail. I don't know what you guys were talking about. Jerry, go back. Delete the stream. Yeah, I underestimated how much I would chat. I should have known. And B, how tired I would be after like 9-10 hours of bunker fishing. So I think we're going to tie this lizard tail. And then at some point, maybe tomorrow on the Friday Fly giveaway, we finish this lizard fly. That sounds kind of like a little bit more of a... Will you guys meet me in the middle? Does that sound good? Can we go into negotiations now? All right, let's go ahead and put some EP up here. But yeah, interesting chartreuse. I'm gonna have to incorporate that. Yeah. One place though I haven't gone. I've spent a lot of time in Turkey. My father's Turkish, but he recently went to some spots like Göbekli Tepe, and all these just like ancient structures and places and like stone temples with stone heads that were carved thousands of years ago, you know. Just tons of history in that area. It's the Anatolian Plateau is what they call that area in Turkey. Just in general, where they believe like where Troy was and stuff like that. So that's something I want to do, is like go to those places. You know what I mean? Because my dad was sending me photos from like Göbekli Tepe and all these places. I'm like, oh, dude. I've like nerded out so many times to like Graham Norton and all those guys. Or is that his name? I believe so. Graham Norton? No, it's different. What's the guy on the Joe Rogan podcast? Graham Carlson and the other guy's got the ancient thing. I always forget. I always mix up their names. Graham Carlson is the geologist, I believe. If I'm not screwing up his name. I'm not 100% sold, but isn't that such an amazing idea that what is it now? I'm sorry. It'd be 14-something thousand years ago. Asteroid impact hitting around Greenland, causing the Great Flood, and then passed down by word of mouth into these religious tales and tales all over of a giant flood and yada yada yada. And civilizations lost. Not like Jetsons futuristic, but maybe they had a little something something. Maybe they knew some math or basic nautical navigation, you know. See cities that lived on the coast or something like that got wiped out. Definitely interesting prospect or idea. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll probably find out at some point. Just from like AI. Like AI will figure it out or something, you know? Yeah, he's got a new series, yep. Yep. That's probably some of my favorite Joe Rogan stuff, those episodes. And then he brings critics and stuff, or not critics. What's the like debunkers? And those are pretty good. There's a lot of like though emotion. I think there was like a recent one where there was a geologist who was on or something, or a archaeologist, and there was a lot of valid points that were brought up. Like I don't know about this. You know what I mean? There's a lot of emotion on it. Is it Graham Norton? It might be. I don't know. Whatever that guy's name is. I'm a huge fan either way, but when it comes to like science and stuff, or just, you know, in general, you definitely have to look at it like pragmatically. I try to look at stuff like that in general, right? It's very, you don't want to be too finite. Like, you don't want to be like 100%, this is 100% how it is. 100%. And then it's like, well, it turns out it wasn't. But I guess that's the fun of science. Come on, guys. Don't you want to go do science? The problem is you got to know math. I hate math. Absolutely hate it. That was the one issue. Not a big fan of math. You kind of need to know math for a lot of things. But you can also just, like, you know, get an accountant or something. Like a Texas Instrument calculator or something, too. But by the way, I hope everyone's having an awesome Halloween. Yeah. What do you call it? I think we're just going to end up tying this tail and trimming it up. And then tomorrow we'll probably do the body and the head or something like that. Who knows? Maybe I'll even go and get smaller size popper heads. Because they do have the smaller size at Whitewater. So, but I am almost about ready to go and just sit down. Probably put some arnica gel on my back. Shout out if you have back issues or any sort of muscle pain. Arnica gel. It's a plant. And it's unbelievable. At first, I was like, nope, that's not going to do anything. My mom's like, nope, you should use it. I'm like, yeah, this is not going to do anything. Turns out, it actually helps. And I'm like the most stubborn person in the world. Hence probably why I have such bad back issues. But I gotta say, arnica gel, I'm preaching the word. If you have any issues, it's really good. And it's just it's kind of like an aloe gel sort of situation. It's very natural, so it's, because I've never used like icy hot or things, you know, they have all these like muscle pain things you can put in gels and whatnot. I come from a very holistic family, so a lot of you know what I mean? I'll just leave it at that. But I gotta say, man, I've been trying to, you know, people, like, if I work with somebody and they have issues, I'm like, dude, I'll bring you the tube. Try it out. Because I gotta say, like, when it comes to stuff like that, I'm just so stubborn. It's not a very good trait, but I'm like, yeah, whatever. So check it out, arnica gel. In fact, I wonder, it's some sort of plant. It's like similar to like an aloe or something. That sort of plant, and they can extract it, but I'm curious. Just waiting for that, what is it, that new Elon Musk replacement spine. Woo, baby. Perfect. Maybe in like 30, 40 years, I'll be all right. They can just like cut me open, swap it out. Yeah, no, I'm 100% against that sort of stuff, for multiple reasons. But yeah, anyway, to not take pain meds, I'm all in. That's a very easy way out, and that leads to very dangerous road. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of bad things from stuff like that. So, but yeah, arnica gel. Shout out. The holistic working man's back pain relief. Arnica gel. There you go. I just wrote the commercial. If anyone from the arnica gel community in the higher ranking tube industry that sells tubes, hit me up. That's all I'm saying. All right. Well, thankfully, I didn't put tying an entire lizard fly in the title because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm about ready to go kick my feet up and hang out and whip out the old arnica gel. Sounds like a sponsored stream for arnica gel. I swear I do not work for the arnica gel lobbyists. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? God, I'm like delusional right now. I've been drinking 2 cups of coffee. So what I do is like I have a Yeti mug. So originally I was bringing one cup of Nespresso coffee or espresso or whatever it's called, the George Clooney crap that we buy. It's so good. But now I've bumped it up to 2 because a full day of bunker fishing, about 8 or 9 hours or whatever, multiple boatloads, it's pretty rough. So when you can like sip that coffee for like another 1 or 2 hours throughout that early morning session, it can carry you through that hump, that midday hump. Today I 1-cupped it. I only brought 2 small bottles of water. It was like 80 something degrees. It was a record high today in October for Long Island. And dude, that 1 cup of coffee, I'm like, I feel like I've been on a desert island for 3 days. You know what I mean? There's probably somebody watching right now is like working like a triple shift, like driving a big rig up a mountain through Montana. It's like snowing. Like, he's like, yeah, you don't know what work is. You're right. I can't handle that. Articulated flies are no joke, yeah. And especially, Chatty McChatterson over here. But, anyways, I really just wanted to hop on. It was Halloween. Halloween's kind of like my favorite holiday for the streaming situation, over the years. So I was like, all right, let's hop on and let's hang out, tie some flies and whatnot. So we got probably about a third of a fly tied. In fact, this is a fly. I'm just going to look, we tied a lizard tail game changer fly. You know how the lizards and their tail falls off like skinks? This is when the tail falls off and wiggles in the water when they're being chased by peacock bass. It's you got to find the right species. It's a September and the wet season, and there's caiman around. But there you go. Lizard tail game changer. You got to put the hook on there. Hook doesn't come with it. And easy. That's right. I saved the stream. Lizard tail game changer. And guess what? Because I didn't put a hook on there, we're going to make it a lizard fly tomorrow. That's right. Another round of applause, folks. That's right. I'll wait for you guys. You ready? That's right. Give it up for Mike Ross, everybody. Again, if you your local consulate, let them know. Los Concitos, Tijuana, Mexico. Again, the federales are asking for way too much money. This bunker season's pretty good. I don't think it's going to cover Mike Ross bail. So make sure you let Post Malone or somebody let them know about it. Maybe Taylor Swift. We could figure this situation out. But thank you so much. Yes, we are streaming tomorrow, Jen. Luckily, I'm probably working Saturday, Sunday, but I have off tomorrow. I need to get as much fly tying done. I'm probably going to not stream most of it, but we are going to stream tomorrow. We have our Friday fly giveaway. So for all the Twitchers out there. So, but for anybody on YouTube and on Twitch, thank you so much for hanging out and watching. I know maybe not the most productive, but it's Halloween. We're hanging out. We're drinking chartreuse. You know what I mean? Whatever that is with the fairies. Okay, and again, round of applause. That's right. Cheers. Thank you so much. If you're looking for something to do tonight and you don't know what to do, go watch Djibouti Show on Twitch or YouTube. Okay? Some of the best Halloween streams around. I don't know why. It's like my tradition after Halloween stream. I go and I watch Djibouti Show. I'm not going to rate him or nothing with 9 viewers. But go check him out. And we honor Bob Popovics. Yep. What you could do is, like I said, we thought about our favorite moments and stuff, but I'm going to myself whip out Bob Popovics Pop Flies later and just take a look through it just for old time's sake, because that book right there, like I said, changed my life. Not joking, because here I am wearing a wig dressed up as a real man locked up in Los Concitos, Tijuana, Mike Ross. I'm dressed up as him on Halloween night, tying flies on the internet, and it probably wouldn't be for Bob Popovics. So luckily I don't live in a van yet. Anyways, round of applause, folks. You have an awesome night, and go check out, go whip out Bob Pop's books and go scroll through it, and think about your favorite times. Anyways, happy Halloween. I'm gonna go see if there's any Reese's Pieces left. All right, later, peace. We'll see you tomorrow. Friday fly giveaway. All right. What time? Check the Discord. Probably around 6 or 7. All right. See you. Later.